Hello. My name is Ben, and I am here today to provide help on how to improve your relationships at work and beyond. Make notes as you wish, but remember that you can watch this video as many times as you like. To start, please take a moment to consider a relationship that you have with someone. This can be someone either at work or in your personal life. This can be a positive relationship where things are going well, a neutral relationship where things need to improve, or a negative relationship where things are difficult. Now, consider the past, that is to say, the history of your relationship. By this, I mean what has made the relationship what it is today. Ask yourself to reflect on what has happened between you and the other person to form your opinion of the relationship that you now have. For example, do you share past positive experiences? Or maybe you have not seen eye to eye. Perhaps someone has helped you, or perhaps you feel you have been let down. Whatever the past experience has been, this perception is likely to be carried forward into your next dealing with this person. Your past experiences will influence your mood and how you are likely to interact with that person at your next meeting. Now consider the present. Continue to keep the person and the relationship you have with them clearly in your mind's eye. Imagine that you now have a meeting with this person. This meeting can be face to face, online, or maybe via telephone, or perhaps an online communication via email or text. Now consider how your interactions will be influenced by the past, that is, what's gone on before. By this, I mean, what has previously happened between the two of you? Will your mood be open and welcoming? Or will your approach be defensive, perhaps even combative? For a species like ours that is hardwired to survive, it's not surprising that we may naturally opt for this fight or flight approach. After all, we are all only human. However, the important thing to remember is that we have choices and that our interactions are based on these choices and no one else's. So do we always need to choose our behaviors that are based on the past? What if we made a choice to put the past to one side, or at least begin to understand the intentions and motivations as to why the person behaved as they did? By interactions, I mean behaviors such as listening, showing empathy, and influencing in a way that shows a flexibility in our communication style. Depending on our past experiences, these choices may not be the ones that we'd naturally choose. For example, we may not want to listen or show empathy towards the other person if our previous dealings have been negative. Behavior breeds behavior. So what would happen if during this meeting you chose to adopt different behaviors which are based on the now rather than the past? For example, how would your relationship develop in the future if you became curious and looked to understand the past in order to help reshape the future of the relationship? How would it be if you look to understand the other person's current motivations and intentions for what they want to achieve and why? What would the impact be on the other person if you chose to behave this way, and how would their behavior change towards yourself? Our interactions do not need to reflect our past experiences. If different choices are made, interactions can also shape the mood of the present meeting and help determine the future of the relationship. Being aware of what is going on for us, as well as realizing what is going on for the other person in an interaction, is very much what emotional intelligence is all about. Making these cognitive rational choices is evidence of paying attention to our emotions rather than being controlled by them. We tend to judge ourselves by our intentions and judge others by their actions. This makes it all too easy to rush to judgment, and often doing so on very little information. Being emotionally intelligent is about suspending our judgment as well as being self-aware. Developing our emotional intelligence makes our relationships more fruitful and increases our overall effectiveness. To summarize, emotional intelligence is often the difference that will make the difference. Now let's look ahead to the future. Depending on the interactions within a meeting, the relationship can take a positive step forward or take a turn for the worse. Of course, this can be easier said than done as the other person needs to respond in a favorable manner. Let's face it, it takes two to tango. However, and as previously said, behavior breeds behavior. It takes someone like you to take the lead, offer the olive branch, and maybe even bury the hatchet. Trench warfare offers no sustainable long-term solution. To summarize, reshaping a relationship takes courage as well as curiosity. The choice to remain poles apart is often easier. Yet, in a world where teamwork and relationships often define success, can we afford not to take the leap? Managing relationships in an emotionally intelligent way is a must, and seeing relationships as past, present, and future is a great way to start. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and taken something away to go and use. At Beyond Theory, all of our training is focused upon enabling people to feel good at work, which science tells us increases productivity and raises levels of customer service. We offer a range of world-class psychometric and personality profiling tools that can help you understand yourself so that you can better understand others. Self-awareness is the first step to developing our emotional intelligence, and completing a profiling tool and receiving a quality debrief will help get you started on this journey. We'll help you decide the most appropriate profiling tool for you to use. Please get in touch if you'd like to know more. Our contact details are at the bottom of this screen. We can come to you, or you can come to us, or we can do it online. The choice will be yours. Either way, thank you for watching and listening to what I had to say on how you can improve your relationships at work and beyond.